What's up, everybody? Circus here coming at you with this week's Rogue Deck Roundup. I got Kamel with me because he's excited for the Rogues this week because there's a lot of them. We're only going to pick five and talk about them, but I can tell. Look at him. Super excited.
There's a couple new ones, so let's get in there.
All right. So the first one is kind of like the deck of the week, the one that everybody wants to know about, right? And that is, I didn't know what it stood for, and I actually saw it on a tournament report and I had to look it up. Not even kidding. Because I was like, Tech Genus, what is that? And I was like, oh, TGs, TGs.
Yep.
Because everybody just calls it TGs, and it's like, oh, it actually has, it actually
Yeah,
stands for
so
something.
the new deck with the new box with the new character and the new skill. And this deck is freaking expensive, dude. You need
Yeah.
three of that UR for the new box, three of that SR, three Book of Moon, and you need three Miscellaneous Saurus, three Forbidden Lands. This deck is crazy expensive, and your boss monster is extremely fragile. That's the only uh, thing I have to say about the deck, but I do like it. It looks really cool. I don't have it, but it was really fun to watch it. Two people play the deck in Battle Step and
Yep.
reach the top four.
Mirror
Unfortunately, they
match.
did not
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. It was a mirror match in the top four, but I don't know. It looks like a fun deck. I don't think it's going to last very long. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
I do not think it's gonna last long. Look at this engine. This entire thing is devoted to you turboing out synchro monster after synchro monster after synchro monster. If we go into a back row meta, this deck is not going to survive. We just got done saying Blue Eyes was the best deck of the week. This deck cannot survive against even one Karma Cut. So,
Right.
yeah,
Or Treacherous Trap Hole.
very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the
So
deck is
we'll see.
really fun to play.
Well, you know what other deck is really fun to play that's not around anymore?
What?
Photons. Just saying. Just saying.
That's true, but Photons will rise again. They'll get their support.
We'll see. All right. Next deck on the list. One of my personal favorites, Luna Lights. Is this thing just can it get any more degenerate than it is? Three
Luna
Spirit
Lights
Karibo,
are
three
here to
Battle of
stay.
Box and Veil.
I'm convinced that Luna Lights are here to stay. They're
Yeah?
not going anywhere this time. Yeah,
Just because
they
of their
have a
boss monster?
yeah. I mean, Noble Knights, which are arguably a better deck, even though they did have a good matchup against Noble Knights. A deck like them falling out of the meta does bring way for them to succeed. I've seen Luna Lights topping every week consistently, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just doing that just because they can survive because of the Saber Dancer. Again, probably the one of the last non-targetable boss monsters that we see in tournament play a lot.
Yeah,
You're
so
gonna get a
Luna
lot of
Lights,
decks.
I mean, you got the Lightsworn engine, you have Luna Lights, so hang on to the deck. It's good for a month, and then we'll see where it goes, see if it comes back like it normally does. It's like Blue Eyes. You know, like it does well for a month, and then it goes away for like 2 months, then it comes back for a little bit. So right now, enjoy your Luna Lights while you can before they go on vacation again. Now, I know this next deck, Kamel is not a fan of.
What?
It's not Ritual Beast, but we almost could get a Canahawk take him back thing with Weather Painters.
Oh my gosh! Again, Weather Painters.
Yeah.
This is a deck that what we were talking about lost balance, so we weren't sure how this deck was going to do, and it looks like they're just playing entirely the engine. That's
Yep.
it, and the engine and hand traps.
I was about to
Two cut
say
roll.
install, so now they can draw into it. Yeah.
That is it essentially. Of course, I'm not sure how much this deck uses the extra deck. Probably not much, especially now since I guess your spell trap lineup is entirely going to be your engine stuff, so you have to worry about less clogging it up because you're only going to be using your engines, your continuous spells and traps.
Yeah, it's a fun little deck. It's a slow control deck, so a lot of times when people see it in a tournament, they just start to groan. But when you're playing it, it's fun if you can get the engine going.
Yeah,
And I
I
left
agree.
the name of this deck on the screen because I thought it was clever. Whether or not. I thought that was good.
That's
All right, moving on to the next one. I can't believe this is even happening, but Predaplant Neos.
Preplant Neos.
It's more Predaplant than Neos. I mean, there's only so much you can do with Neos, but I mean, that's a lot of Predaplant cards in there.
That is a lot of Predaplant cards, but what do they do?
They get out the fusion thing.
What does he do?
He can banish a monster that has a lower level than him.
Wow, you actually knew because I didn't. It's good that you knew because I.
And if during battle, it can reduce your opponent's monster by 1,000, and it gains 1,000, I believe. So
Okay, that I knew. But okay,
you
so
definitely have to deal with this thing. So if it's their
I
turn, they're gonna
wonder,
banish your shit. That's all there is
I
to
wonder
it.
why he is playing those equip spells and stuff. What what reason could you have to play those over things like? Well, I guess maybe if you don't have a bunch of like powerful staples like Book of Moon or whatever. Okay, so here we go. Preda Pruning. Activate this card by targeting one Preda plant monster in your graveyard, special summon and equip it with this card. All right.
And then what happens? That's it.
And that's it.
I
And
guess you can bring
that's it.
back your fusion that way if it
And
gets
then
dealt
he
with. But
has Preda Practice, special summon one Preda plant monster from your hand, then add one Preda monster card from your deck to your hand. You cannot. Yeah, that's it. Just search. That's it. It's a search.
well, whatever
Okay.
works. I mean, this guy made a top 8
He
somewhere.
did something.
Let me look. He got a top 8 in Battle Phase EU. That explains a lot.
Rip it up, Battle Phase EU for what?
Wasn't it Rising Sun in EU? Aren't those ones where we see all kinds of crazy stuff happening?
Yeah, I mean, Meta has been winning recently, I would say, but there's been a lot of spicy stuff in the top 8 for sure.
Oh, we forgot to get Vanilla Spice in here. Unfortunately, it didn't get a top 8, but
Oh yeah, Vanilla Spice. That was a hot deck people were talking about this week.
yeah, that was great. The basically Sonic Duck beatdown.
Maybe we'll do a short on it or something. That
Yeah.
was a funny deck.
All right. And well, one last deck here. This one will make Herf happy and probably Kurnow King. I don't know about this version though, but Invoked Fire
Yeah.
Kings.
Yeah, this is the MCS deck, right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
people were talking about this one Alistair, one Kyroid, one
Yep.
Invocation. But yeah, Fire Kings have I have been liking them in the meta. A deck that has a pretty good match. Another rogue deck that is not here. Trimids have a pretty good matchup against them, but they are not on the. I guess they didn't do so well this week. This Fire King week, baby.
Right.
So Fire Kings are in here, and Alistair putting Alistair in here is just like ridiculous. It's pretty darn good. You get to reuse your Pertro, and even if it gets destroyed, you'll still have fire monsters to use with your Alistair and reuse it. So that's
But
pretty
look at that.
creative.
He's using a Boxer Veil over an extra in Alistair. So I guess he values that hand trap more.
Yeah, I guess you need the hand trap because the hand trap is going to help you
Survive.
survive. Alistair's not, if you draw Alistair and not something that is your Fire King engine, you lose, probably.
Right.
If you, if you draw like Alistair instead of Arvada or Barong.
Well, second place in the MCS is pretty good. I just looked. Trimids, no top 8s this past week. So
Yeah, nothing.
sorry to the Trimid crews out there. We were just talking about how great the deck was on King of the Hill last night. Not the TV show. We hold King of the Hill now almost nightly, and they actually did very, very well in that format. So I was surprised to see that they didn't even get a top 8 in tournaments this week.
Yeah. Trimids, yeah, I'm surprised we're not talking about them this week.
All right, so those are our, I guess you could call them the top 5 rogue decks of the week. I hope you like this
Mm.
series. I always like talking about them. I like seeing the spice, like the Predaplant deck. I'll have to try that one out. And maybe this invoked Fire King deck. What about you, Kamal?
I'm interested to see week to week how the new ban list affects
Mm-hmm.
rogue decks. It looks like if you guys watch the power rankings, we're kind of stuck with like 4 decks being the only consistent ones that people are playing all the time. So things down here are fluctuating quite a lot. So we'll see how things change next couple weeks.
It's a good time to be a rogue deck enthusiast. So if you liked the
Sure.
video, make sure you get in our Discord because it's free. The tournaments are free. The new player help is free. Make sure to check all that out. Make sure to subscribe because we'd appreciate that because half the people that watch this video are not subscribed, and we would love it if you did.
Yep, can't believe that.
So we're going to get out of here. I'm Circus. That's Kamel.
Peace out, guys.
All right. See you next time.